Hey everybody, Sister Scaleback Kathy, coming in for my week 46 gastric bypass update. I had RNY surgery on June 16th, 2014 at Toronto Western Hospital. My highest weight ever was 361 pounds. After 3 weeks of OptiFast, I was 339 pounds, day of surgery that is. And last week I came to you with a weight of 253. And this week I'm still 253. It's okay. I'm working hard. I'm building muscle. I'm going to the gym frequently. And I know that that gain is from that. So I'm okay. Totally want to get off of the topic of numbers, which is not normal for me. I do want to talk a little bit about my experience today trying to find a bathing suit. I have decided to go to Aquafit, and I thought I would be starting today, but last night when I tried on my bathing suit, it was swimming on me. Pardon the pun. I have lost my inflation in the boob area. So let's just say I didn't believe, for some reason, I did not think that the bathing suit would be too big, because I thought stretchy spandex type material, it would just, it just wouldn't stretch as much as it used to. But it really was full of air in the built-in bra that they have in bathing suits. So I had to go looking for one today. I did find a fairly good condition one at Goodwill temporarily so that I can start Aquafit tomorrow. When I get something in my head that I'm going to do it, I was going to wait till the weekend, and I'm like, no, I'm committed. I need to do this. So I went shopping and found one that fit. Surprisingly, a size 16. I can't believe that. It's got to be wrong. It's got to be. 18 maybe. Squeeze in maybe, but 16, something's wrong. But it fits. Now, the other issue is I have what I call cottage cheese thighs. Thighs that are like full of little dimples everywhere and, cellulite, whatever you want to call it. But they're not pretty. Not pretty at all. And they're very jiggly, of course, which is to be expected. But they're just, so my old bathing suit was actually a two-piece, but it was full coverage. Like it was a top and then bottoms with a built-in, they call them skirts or a skirt, basically, built onto the bottom trunk part of the swimsuit. So I am going to still wear the bottom half of my old swimsuit, because it still fits, with the skirt so that I can kind of try to cover those thighs. And I know it doesn't matter, right? That's what everyone's thinking. It does matter to me. I can't stand the way it looks. I was going to take a picture just for you guys, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I look in the mirror and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. Maybe after I do Aquafit for a while, I might come around to, because I'm used to wearing the bathing suit. Maybe I will, but I can't do it right now. But I'm gonna wear it and do the Aquafit, because once I'm in the water, who cares, right? You can't see the cottage cheese thighs when you're in the water. So that's where I'm at. And but I'm working out 3 days a week at the gym on weight machines. I am feeling stronger. I don't have like sleeve rocker muscles or anything, but I can feel. Now, if only I could get the bottom. The bottom's a little firmer, but I mean, it's not. There's just so much skin. But I do feel some muscle in there, which is good. I'm happy. I feel stronger, feel better. Couple of other things I want to talk about, non-weight loss surgery related. Please say a prayer if you're so inclined to do so for Jerry's dad. Jerry's dad has a terminal condition. I've talked about it in past videos, but if you didn't see that, he has a condition where the elasticity of the lungs no longer works, and eventually he won't be able to breathe anymore. He's 82 years old, and he's known about this for a few months now. It's getting steadily worse, and I'm just hoping that Jerry doesn't have a surgery date this summer and a funeral at the same time. So please say a prayer for Jerry's dad and for Jerry. My niece Brianne, who has spina bifida and is about to have surgery soon, hopefully in a month or so, to get a permanent bag implanted into her so that her kidneys don't back up like they have been. She loves anime. And if any of you know the Japanese art of anime, basically it's cartoons. Now don't tell anybody that loves anime that they're cartoons, because they're not. They're art. They're art. Okay? And anyways, she loves it. She draws. She reads about it. She watches anime cartoons. But she loves it. And so a friend of mine this past weekend, Michelle, who is a huge anime convention, cosplay as they call it, person, she just came back from Japan. And she went for fun with a group of her friends. And she thought of my niece while she was there. And in Japan they have charms. They're charms that are put into temples, and they light the incense and they bless the charms. And there's different blessings for different things. There's health, there's wealth, there's love, there's, different charms. So she brought Brianne a one for health. I'm going to show it to you now. And it is called, now please pardon me if I don't get this properly done. I guess I got to put this in the right spot here. There we go. There's a little cat charm. Manakai Neko is the name of the cat. And if any of you like sushi or have been in Japanese restaurants, you'll probably see this form of cat in one way or another, different colors, usually by the cash register, on a windowsill, on the bar. Basically, there is a very cool story about this cat and how it came to be that I would like to read to you and share with you. It doesn't only apply to my niece or people who are not well, health-wise. I think it applies to our journey as well. It applies to, things happen for a reason. You've heard that saying. And this story makes me think that. So I'm going to just read a little bit about how this cat came to be. And think about your own journey while I'm reading. I hope you don't mind if I read. So the legend of Manakai Neko. A long time ago, during the Edo period or 17th century of Japan, there was a poverty-stricken priest who was the keeper of a rundown temple in the western part of Tokyo. The kind priest shared what little food he had with his pet cat and companion, Tama, whom he cared for despite his poverty. Life was very difficult for the priest. The cold winds whistled through the temple and chilled his old bones. Rain poured in through the dilapidated roof, and he ached with hunger and exhaustion, yet he always remained dedicated to his duties and grateful for what little he had. On one particularly dreary day, the cold was cutting through his damp clothing like a million tiny knives. He went to make himself some tea in the hopes to warm himself when he was crushed to see that he had no tea to make. His good nature turned to utter despair and sadness, and he slumped down in a corner and began to weep. Concerned, his beloved companion Tama went toward the man to see if he could possibly comfort him. The priest exclaimed in frustration, "Oh, Tama, I'm so very poor, and yet still I keep you. Could you not one day do something for this temple, do something for me?" His head fell into his hands, and he wept quietly until he went to sleep. Tama was puzzled and decided to go outside of the temple for a while. He sat in front of the door and began cleaning himself, as cats do, licking his paw and then rubbing it onto his face. Just then a very wealthy and powerful man was passing by the temple, as the gentle rain grew stronger and a violent thunder and lightning storm erupted. Large droplets of icy rain poured down and pelted him as he took refuge by a large tree. "This place will provide adequate shelter until the storm subsides," thought the man. At that moment, he noticed a cat in the doorway of the old temple, cleaning his face with his paw, gesturing as though he were extending an invitation. This gesture puzzled him, so he just had to have a closer look at the cat, who seemed to be beckoning him forth. Cold and wet, the man quickly approached the cat and entered the building. Moments later, the tree that he had just been standing under, using as shelter, was struck by lightning and caught fire. The tree broke with a loud crash, and flaming pieces of its shattered trunk fell precisely where the wealthy man had been standing. The man was extremely grateful to the cat for having saved his life. He was immediately compelled to find the owner of the cat and reward him. He entered the temple, looking to find Tama's owner, and he found the old priest living in such deplorable conditions. He soon befriended the priest and showered him with gifts. The wealthy man used his influence to bring many wealthy people to the temple, and it soon became very prosperous. The cat had not only saved a life, but had also relieved the priest of the burden of his poverty. When he died, the cat was honored by being buried in a special cemetery, and a statue was made in his likeness, reflecting the beckoning raised paw that had brought so much good fortune and prosperity to his owner. And you'll notice that this cat has a raised paw here. As the word of the events spread, people began placing figurines of cats with raised paws in their homes, shops, and temples, believing it would bring the same kind of prosperity and good fortune into their own lives that Tama had brought to the priest. It's also known as the beckoning or Japanese fortune cat, and it's been a very popular symbol of good luck and an invitation to prosperity and success. They also have different colored cats. So this is just me talking now. That was the end of the story. But isn't that a great story? The story is like, things happen for a reason. And we have to trust in the system of the universe, whatever you believe, whatever power you believe in. You need to trust that those things are happening for a reason. And I like to think that way about my niece. I like to think that way about our surgeries. Our journey after surgery, and I'm in love with that story now. So if you've ever gone into a Japanese restaurant or a store and you've seen even Asian stores, because I believe in China they do the same thing. They have the Buddha, but they also have the cat. Sometimes they're golden, different colors, different things. So green is health, black is to ward off evil. Let's see, green is health. What else did let me see. Yeah. And then, okay. So the right paw invites money and good fortune. Both paws up means protecting home or business. Left paw up invites customers or people. If it's wearing a bib and a bell, it's wealthiness and material abundance. The calico cat is traditionally the luckiest cat of all. White cat is purity, positive things to come. Black cat wards off evil. Golden cat, intense wealth and prosperity. Red cat, love, marriage, and personal matters. Green cat, health. So you'll notice this one's health. Pink cat, love and relationships. So there's many different cats, many different, and they've all been put into temples and had prayers said with the incense burning. I love that story, and I hope you do too. Anyway, it comes directly from Japan, which I'm really happy about. There's a lot of Japanese writing. I don't know what it says, but I'm sure my niece will just love trying to figure it out. So that's, say a little prayer for Brienne if you would too. She needs, she's had 30 plus surgeries in her 19 years of life, and she could really use a prayer for this next surgery that she's going to go through. Of course, I do believe in one God. So, I don't worship idols or cats, if you will. But I do like the story and the principle behind it. And it is a symbol of, accepting your journey, accepting where you are on that journey, and that it's happening for a reason. So I hope that helped somebody out there. And think of that story. It's a beautiful story. That's all I have to talk about. I've already gone 15 minutes, so I better end this now. But just something a little different for me today. And wish me luck at Aquafit tomorrow. Have a great day. See you next week, guys. Bye.